12, 2018 is hereby called to order. Ms. Carleen, can you call roll?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Jones. Here. Ms. Posito.
Here.
Mr. Grow. Here. Mr. Melvin. Here. Mr. Bourgeois is running about 10, 15 minutes late. He's stuck in traffic. Mr. Perilou. Here. Mr. Otam. Here. Mr. Lafont. Here. Mr. Lorraine. Here. Mr. Cantrell. Here.
Thank you, Ms. Carleen. We're going to have Mr. Corey Perilou do the invocation, and Mr. Lafont will lead us in the pledge.
At this point, before the invocation, if everyone would please give a few moments of silence for the passing of Mr. Vin Bruce. He is the king of the Cajun singers. He passed away this weekend, so we'll have a moment of silence for him, followed by the Lord's Prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record show Mr. Bourgeois stepped in at 5:02 p.m. A, approval of the minutes. What are we dealing with here, Ms. Carleen?
Number 1, we can approve. Number 2, we can approve. And number 3, we can approve.
Can I get a motion to accept, number 1, motion to accept the minutes of the February 27, 2018 regular session, deferred from 3/13/18, 3/27/18, 4/10/18, 4/27/18, 5/8/18, and 5/22/18. Can I get a motion? By Jones, second by Otan. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 2, motion to accept the minutes of the March 1st, 2018 special session deferred from 3/13/18, 3/27/18, 4/10/18, 4/24/18, 5/8/18, and 5/22/18. Moved by Councilman Otan, second by Perilou. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 3, motion to accept the minutes of the March 6, 2018 special session deferred from the 3/13/18, 3/27/18, 4/10/18, 4/24/18, 5/8/18, and 5/22/18 LPC meetings. Moved by Perilou, second by Lafont. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0.
And the rest will need to defer.
Okay, can I get a motion to defer items 4 through 11? Moved by Lafont, second by Perilou. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
You want to defer that until the next meeting or 2 meetings?
Okay, there were none opposed, so that was 9-0, but what do you think?
I think we can get 2 or 3 in before the next meeting. You want to just go ahead and defer all of them to the next, and we'll defer again.
Okay. So they're all deferred until
June 26th.
6/26.
Yes, ma'am. Everybody's in favor of that.
And everyone's, okay. B, presentation and/or updates. C, legal advisory report, none. D, public wishing to address the council, public hearings, agenda items, etc. None, Ms. Carleen. E, engineers, architects report. You have any of those? Okay, F, public hearing and ordinances for ratification. Can I get a motion to open the public hearing? Moved by Bourgeois, second by Perilou. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Public hearing's now open. Number 12, ordinance establishing a three-way stop sign.
Madam Chairman, I need to pull that.
Okay. Pull. Number 13, ordinance ordering and calling a special election to be held in Sales Tax District Number 4 of the Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana, to authorize the levy of a sales and use tax therein, making applications to the State Bond Commission in connection therewith, and providing for other matters in connection therewith. It's moved by Councilman Lorraine, second by Bourgeois. Okay, do we have an amendment? Amendment A. Ms. Carleen?
Yes, throughout the document, we're going to correct the year from 2018 to 2019, where it reads Sales Tax District Number 4 prop in the ordinance and in the attachment. Also, we have two amendments. The bond attorneys left out on page, hold on. On page 11, they left out wards and precincts. So we're going to add that in as well. And that's the two amendments.
Okay, I need to get a vote on the First Amendment, right?
Yes, ma'am.
First Amendment A. Yes.
A, amendment, correcting the year from 2018 to 2019 in the paragraph Sales Tax District Number 4 proposition within the ordinance and within the attachment.
That's moved by Councilman Lorraine, second by Bourgeois. Any discussion? Public one time, two times, three times? Being none. Council, Mr. Lorraine?
Yeah, I think we also need to make an amendment on, if you look at section 1, unless I'm wrong, November the 6th, Tuesday, November, between the hours of 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. I thought the polls open at 7 now. Huh? So it'll be 6? I'm just, because lately they've been opening at 7. But he says I just want to make sure. That's fine.
If you're going to address the council, please come to the stand instead of screaming from the... Name and address for the record, please. Turn the mic on, I think it's...
Ron Sapier, 110 Bourgeois Street, Rayson, Louisiana. Mr. Lorraine, when there is a federal election for president or Congress, it opens at 6. If there's a state election, it opens at 7. So the ordinance is correct, as written.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you, Mr. Sapier. Anyone else? Okay, Amendment A, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 8-1. With the one nay being Jerry Lafont. On the First Amendment. You want to do the next amendment, Ms. Carleen?
Hello? We also within the document, we'll be adding wards and precincts in the attachment.
Okay. Public one time, two times, three times. Any discussion from the council? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nay. Passes 8-1, with Councilman Lafont being the only nay. Number 14, ordinance providing... Ordinance as amended both times? With all the amendments? Okay. All right, number 13, we'll read it all. Ordinance ordering and calling a special election to be held in Sales Tax District Number 4 of the Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana, to authorize the levy of a sales and use tax therein, making applications to the State Bond Commission in connection therewith, and providing for other matters in connection therewith. Public one time, two times, three times. Any discussion from the council? First Amendment, we've got all of that done. All right, as amended, with including Amendment A and B. Public one time, two times, three times. Any discussion from the council? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. Passes 8-1 with Lafont being the nay. Ordinance providing for a 2018 supplemental appropriation 18-013 within the 2018 operation and maintenance budget to carry forward a memorandum of agreement between Lafourche Parish Government Community Action and Louisiana Rehabilitation Services for pre-employment transitional service, PETS program, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said transaction as provided for by Article 6 of the Lafourche Parish Home Rule Charter, moved by Councilman Jones, second by Paraloo. Public one time, two times, three times. Any discussion from the council? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 15, ordinance providing for a 2018 supplemental appropriation 18-010 within a 2018 operation and maintenance budget to deobligate budget balances of all completed project from 2018 operation and maintenance report, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said transaction as provided for by Article 6 of the Lafourche Parish Home Rule Charter, moved by Councilman Lorraine, second by Councilman Melvin. Public one time, two times, three times. Any discussion from the council? Mr. Corey?
Yeah, so this is to deobligate budget balances from projects from 2018? I mean, we're still in 2018. Why are we doing that?
This is for completed projects. The project is like, I think one of them is Sewer District 1 in the Country Club. It was finished, either finished this year or whatever. It's just bookkeeping cleanup is what it is. The projects are finished. Whatever's left in goes back into the fund balance. Nobody can use it where it is in the project, in a capital project, and it goes back to the fund balance, and administration can't use it until they come to y'all with another supplemental appropriation to put it somewhere that y'all would have to approve.
All right, thank you.
Any further discussion?
Just to
Oh,
clarify, so
Michael Burrow?
they're not going back into the general fund, they go back into the balance of building or
Where they
capital
came
outlay?
from.
Exactly, okay, just make it that.
Anyone else?
Yeah,
Lafont?
I wish y'all would've did them instead of a blanket. I wish y'all would've did them individual. That way we could have voted on each one individual.
I prefer that as well. Anyone else? Okay, let's move it to a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nay. Nays, raise your hand. Passes 7-2, with Jones and Lafont being the nays. Number 15, ordinance. Number 16, we did 15, okay. Okay. Number 16, ordinance providing for a 2018 supplemental appropriation 18-011 within the 2018 operation and maintenance budget to deobligate budget balances of all projects that have no activity in 3 or more years from the 2018 operation and maintenance budget, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute it, and administer said transactions as provided for by Article 6 of the Lafourche Parish Home Rule Charter, moved by Councilman Lorraine, second by Lafont. Public one time, two times, three times. Any discussion from the council? Any discussion? This is another one I have a problem with, these items being all together. Let me get to where. Is Bill Taylor boat launch, that's in my district. back when the budget amendments were done, I was trying to move that into another project. The budget amendment was written incorrectly, so it didn't get moved. I would like to keep the money that's been in my district, that's been budgeted for my district, in my district. Let's see. Can someone, okay, the drainage projects for districts, I know that's all districts, that 177,000, I know we haven't solved all the drainage problems. I don't know why we would try to de-obligate that money, and the only other question I would have is the South Lafourche Beachfront Development Commission, I always see that come up. I've never seen any work done there, or what is it for? Mr. Lasang?
The South Lafourche Beachfront Development, remember y'all had budget amendments, we're gonna take it out and just put it back into, that comes from royalty, I believe.
That was one of the ones Parish
Yeah.
President vetoed, or
It
was
is-
that one of the ones
Well, he
that?
vetoed them all.
Okay.
Royalty, the money would go back into royalty, the fund balance of royalty, and the 275 was for land acquisition. That's been put there, in fact, I put that there years ago, never was used, not gonna be used. So it's just gonna go back to the royalty fund balance. All we're doing is cleaning up some of this stuff to get it to where it is, and you can see what it is. Administration can't use it, and like Bill Taylor boat launch, you can leave it there, but all you can do is the Bill Taylor boat launch. And you don't have a project for the Bill Taylor boat launch.
Right, unless I do an amendment come budget time and move it to something, right?
But then you gotta do, I agree with you, but you gotta do 2 transfers. Right now, you're just doing it, and it would go back into, where did that come from, recreation? Bill?
Recreation funds.
Okay, it would go back into recreation fund balance, and then, you take it from there, whatever you want. Because, when the budget
Or
comes.
anyone could take it from there.
Well, y'all gotta
Yeah.
approve everything. No, we can't take it out
No, if it
without
got
coming to
moved
y'all.
recreation, anyone could submit a project on that,
Well, the
right?
council would have to approve it, yes.
Yeah.
Ms. Lucy.
Okay. Mr. Jones?
Yeah, I much rather vote this down and leave the money where it is. We had a bunch of amendments to the budget, and it was all vetoed. Now we're coming back and we want to move this money. Budget time is coming up soon. So if we can move that money then. So I much prefer asking y'all to vote it down.
What that'll do is make any amendment go through another additional step instead of it being in fund balance, which is fine with me, I don't care.
Whether it's another additional step or not, the money's guaranteed in that fund.
But it's already guaranteed. It
It's
can't move.
guaranteed now.
It's guaranteed after you make the entry too.
It's guaranteed now.
It's
The money's
guaranteed
not
after-
guaranteed after. The
Okay,
administration
you might
has
know more
control
than
of
me.
the budget.
Okay, we're gonna keep it to the point. Councilman Grow?
But just like the question I had on the last one, the stuff just goes back to the appropriate fund. It just wouldn't have a name on it anymore.
It would be
for
in the
vote
fund
there.
balance, and administration cannot take anything out the fund balance without council approval.
Is there any reason these weren't in the item 15, the one right before?
Yes, because the ones in 15 are completed
Just
projects,
completed
and
project.
these are over 3 years old, never been done with, like the South Lafourche Beachfront development. Bill Taylor, the previous councilman wanted to buy Bill Taylor boat launch. There were some questions about that, and it backed out, and I don't think Ms. Posito wants that, although I realize she does want the
She'd like
100,000.
something done
In
with
her district,
$100,000
and
in
that's
her
up to
district,
y'all, but-
I'm sure. So,
Well,
I mean, I don't have anything on here, but I could see how, that's the chance you take when you have
Yes, you do.
5 or 6 things roped together. If you have a problem with one, then you gotta vote them all down. I mean, the South Lafourche Beachfront Development, we've talked about that before, but, I agree with Councilman Jones and Councilwoman Esposito about, not roping them all together. If she has a problem with one, I wouldn't want somebody taking everything out of my district, when I'm trying to park something to build a ditch. There was a couple things I put in the budget last year that I knew I couldn't do with the funds available. They probably wouldn't get done unless I run for three terms, the amount of money I put in. So I'd hate for somebody to grab some money that I had sitting for that reason when I'm trying to build up a fund balance for a project that's significant instead of trying to get at one time.
Councilman Paralew?
Why would y'all be trying to roll back this drainage fund? It looks like this drainage fund of $177,000 It's something that can be used in all councilmatic districts. So why would you guys be trying to roll this money back? I mean, we constantly have drainage issues that need addressing, and this money would come in handy. So why would we deobligate this $177,000?
I'll agree with
Mr.
you.
Lasang?
I'll agree with you on that one. That one could stay, and it's moot, you know, because
That's a deal breaker to me.
It's going to get used. Well, we could amend it out. I mean, administration can make an amendment if you want to take it out. That one I would agree with, though. I mean, the other ones I think are something that y'all agree with.
Mr. Parlow, you had anything else?
No, I'm voting it down.
Yeah, I'm also in agreement. I wish I would have voted, not that it would have made a difference, down 15 as well, because that pulled some money out of one of my boat launches that we need, so I can move some of this 100,000 to that boat launch. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor? Yeah, all in favor? Any opposed? Nay. Who's the in favor? Okay, it passes, it fails, 6, 3, 3, 6, jeez. 3, 6, 0, and the 3 nays are Michael Grove, James Bourgeois, and Daniel Lorraine. 3 yeas are Grove, Bourgeois, and Lorraine. Number 17, ordinance providing for 2018 supplemental appropriation 18-014 within the 2018 operation and maintenance budget to move funds from fund balance for the settlement agreement between the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, and Lafourche Parish government regarding the Choctaw Levee Project 18053, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said transaction as provided for by Article 6 of Lafourche Parish Home Rule Charter. Can someone move for me? Moved by Councilman Jones, second by Bourgeois. Public 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Any discussion from the council? Mr. Melvin?
Yes, I have a question for Mr. Lasang. I'm just curious, Tommy, if y'all had a chance to, I know y'all might be looking at different things, emails. I've spoken to the DA's office, et cetera, about, every time I see some money come across here, I think, for what? I mean, I know what it's for, but any progress?
Mr. Lasang?
It's slow, but it's happening. We're making progress on, I mean, just when y'all voted the other night to pay that $23,750, that resolved the EPA part of it. Now we gotta deal with the Corps, which is, their primary thing is gonna be the mitigation. That's gonna be the primary cost. The levy, which is proposed to be the road, all this has to be accepted. Joe Pisciola and them submitted for a permit, but it could take probably 6 months. Even if they expedite it, it's gonna take several months, probably close to the end of the year. Other than that, I'd say I know the DA is looking into some of the stuff and has talked with some people.
Yeah,
and,
that's what I'm referring to, whoever the Houdini was that moved it.
well, it's a bunch of them.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 18, ordinance providing for 2018 supplemental appropriation 18-015 within the 2018 operation and maintenance budget to set up the budget for the Gulf of Mexico Energy Security, GOMESA, funds received by the federal government for 2018, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said transaction as provided for by Article 6 of the Lafourche Parish Home Rule Charter, moved by Councilman Lorraine, second by Councilman Otan. Public 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Any discussion from the council? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? You're a what? Okay, all I heard was aye. So any nays? Passes 9-0. Can I get a motion to close public hearing? Moved by Paraloo, second by Lafont. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. G, proposed ordinance. Councilman Otan.
Number 19, proposed ordinance to reduce the speed limit from 20 miles per hour to 15 miles per hour on Moore Street, Thibodaux, Louisiana, Ward 6, District 2, Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana, providing for the placement of speed limit signs and providing penalties for the violations thereof. Moved by Councilwoman Esposito. Item 20, proposed ordinance establishing a load limit of 10 tons on Moore Street at Highway 20, Thibodaux, Louisiana, Ward 6, District 2, Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana, providing for the placement of load limit of 10 tons sign and providing for penalties for violations thereof by Councilwoman Esposito. Item 21, proposed ordinance approving the attached servitude agreement between Murphy A. Oquin and the Lafourche Parish Council and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement. Moved by Councilwoman Esposito for the administration. Item 22, proposed ordinance approving the attached servitude agreement between Charles A. Maternay and the Lafourche Parish Council and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement. Moved by Councilwoman Esposito for administration. Item 23, proposed ordinance approving the attached servitude agreement between Galliano Cattle Company, represented by Dino Schwess, Vice President of Operations, and the Lafourche Parish Council, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement. Moved by Councilman Lorraine. Item 24, proposed ordinance approving the attached servitude agreement between Movant Terra LLC, represented by Daniel Movant, and the Lafourche Parish Council, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement. Moved by Councilman Grove for the administration. Item 25, proposed ordinance approving a lease agreement between St. John Episcopal Church, owner lessor, and Lafourche Parish government, the parish for leasing the premises located at 718 Jackson Street, Thibodaux, Louisiana, 70301, for use as a polling place for Ward 2, Precinct 5 of Lafourche Parish, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Councilman Jones for the administration. Item 26, proposed ordinance amending Chapter 2, Article 2, Section 2-36 of the Lafourche Parish Code of Ordinances to change the polling location for Ward 2, Precinct 5, First Baptist Church to St. John Episcopal Church, to further establish the effective date of same and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents. Moved by Councilman Jones for the administration. Item 27, proposed ordinance providing for a 2018 supplemental appropriation 18-016 within the 2018 operations and maintenance budget, amending the budget to correct changes by administration, remove duplicate projects, deobligate completed projects, and amend various line items as per the library board recommendation, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said transactions as provided for by Article 6 of the Lafourche Parish Home Rule Charter. Moved by Councilman Lorraine for the administration, and that's it for proposed ordinances.
Thank you, Councilman Otan. H, resolutions. 28, resolution requesting Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, LADOTD, to place no parking on shoulder signs on LA1 from West 167th Street to West 168th Street, Galliano, Louisiana, due to motorists blocking the road. Parish of Lafourche, State of Louisiana. Moved by Councilman Lorraine, second by Lafont. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. 29, resolution rescinding Resolution 16-342, which appointed a representative for District 9 on the parish-wide Recreation Advisory Board. Moved by Councilman Lorraine. Second by Lafont. Any discussion from the council?
Yeah, I'm just wondering why we're removing someone from the board.
The reason why we're not really removing him, he removed himself. And he just never submitted a letter of resignation. But he did send an email and he showed me, but they said they never got it. So I just want to, I mean, you can ask Jerry, he's all in he needed to step, it's almost a year that's been vacant, and he agreed to stepping down because he's got to go work in Alaska.
I guess my only question is, I don't think we have to rescind the resolution to appoint someone else. Mr. Lorraine?
Yeah, he didn't send his resignation.
So just,
And it's cleaner that way for the record.
okay. Any further discussion? Mr. Lorraine?
Nope.
Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 30, resolution appointed one member to the Lafourche Parish Tourist Commission, moved by Councilman Melvin. Second by, oh wait, what's your person?
I'm happy to nominate Greg Gobert.
Mr. Greg Gobert, second by Mr. Perilou. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Let's see Greg here. Number 31, resolution reappointing one member on the Fire Protection District Number 3 Board. Moved by Councilman Lorraine. Mr.
Can I-
Lorraine?
I'm sorry.
Ms. Lorraine?
Can I defer that one till next meeting? I need to check something with the state.
Sure.
Till, June 26th.
Yes. So number 31 is going to be deferred until 6/26.
Reggie.
Being deferred, all in favor? Did you have something else, Mr. Lorraine?
No, that's it.
All in favor? Any opposed? Item will be deferred. Passes 9-0. 32, resolution appointed one member on the Fire Protection District Number 8B Board. Can someone move for me? Moved by Councilman Bourgeois. Mr. Bourgeois, do you have a list of?
I appoint Amy Delott.
Mr., what's the first name?
Amy.
Delott, okay. Second by Mr. Perilou. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 33, resolution appointed one member on the Fire Protection District Number 8A Board.
I'll move for you.
Moved by Mr. Bourgeois. Who do
I
we have?
appoint Jonathan Cortez.
Jonathan Cortez, Poofy Cortez, and Mr. Perilou seconds it. All in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Saw a couple people smile when I said Poofy. He's a funny guy. Number 34, resolution approving amendment number 1 to the agreement between Lafourche Parish Government and Second Harvest Food Bank of Greater New Orleans and Acadiana to distribute commodities made available by the United States Department of Agriculture pursuant to 7 U.S.C. 612C to eligible soup kitchens, food banks, food pantries, and emergency feeding organizations in accordance with 7 CFR Part 250 and 251 and the Hunger Prevention Act of 1988, PL 100-435, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Councilman Jones, second by Perilou. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. 35, resolution approving amendment number 1 to the contract between Lafourche Parish Government and Lafourche Animal Hospital to provide veterinary services on an as-needed and as-called-upon basis for the Lafourche Parish Animal Shelter, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said amendment and any and all relevant and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Perilou, second by Mr. Otan. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. 36, resolution requesting the state of Louisiana through the Department of Transportation and Development, DOTD, to transfer ownership of State Route LA 3266 to Lafourche Parish Government and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents. Moved by Councilman Gross, second by Bourgeois. Any discussion? Mr. Lorraine?
Yeah, this road actually belongs to the state, and they want to give it to the parish. If it was in such great shape, why would they want to give it to the parish? Second of all, I've been voting in my area, Leeville, the state gives you that, Bridges, the state gives it to you, then it's your problem after. We can't keep up with what we have today, and we keep expanding and taking their junk. It's time we stand up to the state and tell them you can keep it. Okay? To go address that, it must be in good shape if they want to give it to you. I mean, in bad shape, because if it's in good shape, they keep it. And I don't think it's right. I'm not voting for none of that no more. Because you know what? Like in Leeville and all, we got to go cut the grass. We got to go do everything. And we can't keep up with what we have. And the state just keeps on pouring it on to us. and I just don't think it's right.
Mr. Lasang, you had something to add to Mr. Daniels?
Yes, it's not to transfer, it's to ask the state to come with a proposal for y'all to consider whether or not you want it. This wouldn't just, that's all this is, a resolution requesting them to make a proposal. Initial discussions, they would resurface the road, just like they did the Leeville Road when we took that in years ago. But with this situation, they'll resurface it, and they will give us several $100,000. I think the number was a 5-something or 586 or something like that. Then that's what, you know, we would ask you to consider when they come back with a proposal. If they say, we're not resurfacing it, we just want you to take it, we're not giving you any money, then y'all vote no, because that would make sense. If they come in and say, well, we will resurface it, we'll give it to you, and we'll give you $10 million, you obviously would say, yeah, well, they're not gonna give you $10 million either. But initially, they offering like 580 or something like that. And this is just requesting them to come with a formal proposal. They need this to come with a formal proposal and say, hey, we're proposing to give you the road and resurface it and give you this money. You want it, yes or no? And that's when I would guess the real debate should start. This is just to ask them what they want to do.
Mr. LaFont?
Yeah, Michael, I'd like to hear an explanation from you since you put it on because
I'm getting to it.
it really sounds fishy to me. I'm gonna give you a road and I'm gonna give you
It's
$500,000.
just a road transfer credit.
Okay, so,
I don't know, listen, I've
Mr.
been on this council for, this is my second term, and when they fixed the Grand Bois, they said they're gonna fix the low over, we had to take over that section. They fixed the Leeville Bridge, we had to take over that section. It ends up costing the parish more than the 500,000, because guess what, the next time you gotta surface, it's gonna be more than 500,000, and then 10 years from now, you gotta resurface it again, it's gonna be another 500,000, and 10 years again, so it ends up costing you more. I say let the state take care of their own stuff, but I'd like to hear your explanation.
okay, y'all ready?
Mr. Grohl, go ahead.
So, I wish you'd have called me first. So, I'll put my light on first. A few months back, I got a formal request from the city of Thibodaux's Chamber of Commerce. Shortly after that, I called them about it and said it's a state road, okay? Shortly after that, I got an email from Mike Duplantis at Cameco. This is also this is what's called the Cameco Road, the road that goes right in front of Cameco, John Deere, which is a huge taxpayer in this area. So, and he sent me a bunch of stuff about Rex. I went and looked at the road. It needs to be overlaid. I got with Mr. Barnes, got a contact with DOTD, Mr. Gisclair. When I called him, he said, man, we tried to do something, and it just fell through the cracks in 2015. He showed me an ordinance that was written up by Lania, and at that time, it was to overlay the road and give the parish around $500,000, which Tommy had mentioned. So I saw that. I had the email I could forward to everybody. So we could actually, and the state guy told me, he says, listen, if we give it to y'all and overlay it first, we can do it in a shorter time period. And for full transparency, he also said, if we put it on our list, it may take 6 or 7 years to get it overlaid, okay? Which would not be good. I mean, this hasn't been overlaid yet. So this is just to, like Tommy said, to get them to come back with something. Then we vote on it. This is, I mean, if they're gonna overlay it and give it to us and give us $2 million, I really don't want to take it over and I think it'd be years before it has to be addressed again. It needs to be addressed now. If you go right on it, you be the judge if it's nice or not. This is just to ask them to see what they would do and transfer it over. And it fell through the cracks in 2015 for whatever reason. It was drawn up and just not put on the agenda by administration back then. That's the story.
Mr. Otan, can you take over the gavel for a minute?
Yes, go ahead.
The Camco Road, it's highly traveled, heavy traffic. It's a lot of traffic and a lot of heavy traffic. This is the basic road transfer credit. DOTD does hand it over to you with the road in good shape, but we do have to continue maintaining it after. I don't find on some roads, if they're a little side road, it's not a big deal. But when you have a heavily trafficked road like this Camco Road with heavy traffic on it as well, I would, and I think you and I talked about this offline, I would never agree to take over that road. That is a monster. And I know the state tells you that it'll be years. I ride on that road. They're going to have to patch it very, very soon. They're not going to be able to leave it that way. So it may be years before they do a full overlay, but they'll be paying for wheels and accidents and everything if they don't come in and just repair some of the damage.
All I'm saying is, everybody's got a price. Let's just see what the price is, what they're willing to offer. You know, I mean, if they're willing to give us a lot of money, it may behoove us to take it over and get it overlaid right away. This is just one step in the process. To shoot it down is just like shooting down something to go to the voters about term limits. Let's just see what they got. I mean, that's all I'm asking for support on. Just, you know, welcome to vote it down then. I'd like to know, and I'm doing this on a request of a huge taxpayer, being Camelcoa John Deere, and the city of Thibodaux's Chamber of Commerce. That's what started this. That's why I put it up, or I asked for it to be put up.
Thank you. Mr. Paraloo?
Yeah, I mean, I can support the resolution asking them to come back with numbers and stuff like that, but the whole point I'm looking at is like, it's almost like they're holding us hostage. Yeah, we'll pave it and give it to you if you maintain it for the rest of its integrity. But at the same time, like someone else mentioned, in 10 years, the cost to the parish is gonna far outweigh what they give us as a incentive to take the road over. So it's kind of like a catch-22.
What I'm saying about the 500, it was $573,507, and it's like 1.296 miles that we're talking about, a road, okay? That was in 2015. I don't know what the deal is now. It might not have been a good deal then. Certainly, 2018, I hope they don't come with the same price. And Lucy, you know better than all of us probably about this. It's a formula. It's not some kind of, I mean, they base it on
Right, it's not an
it's not like
arbitrary
they're just gonna go throw this all kind of money on us. And we'll decide then. That's all I'm saying. You know, just, the deal and holding us hostage, that's kind of thing. I guess that's just the way the state is. I don't think they're making us, Lafourche Parish, a special, sanction of getting this done. That's just the way it is. Look, we'll do it, and it speeds it up on the road list. If we don't do it that way and we own it, it gets in line with everything else. And like, you know, we could gamble on, like Lucy was saying, them, patching it or fixing it. And look, I promise you, I'm gonna stay on the state to get this done. I'm not gonna let this stop right here. And I can understand y'all vote if you vote against it when it comes up. But to vote against it right now, for them to look into it, I think is an injustice. Let's just wait and see what they come back, and you're welcome to vote it down. And I hope y'all get behind me, champion, getting the state to hurry up. So that's all I'm
Mr. LaFont?
The way the ordinance is written, it doesn't say anywhere in there to look into. It says requesting the state of Louisiana through the Department of Transportation, DOT, to transfer ownership. It does nowhere does it say to open discussion, which the parish president doesn't need our permission to go discuss this with the state anyway. I think Mr. Jimmy has all the power and the knowledge to go sit there and talk with him. So why would we have a resolution to go talk with him when Mr. Jimmy could do that anyway and come back and say, look, this is what the state proposed. I don't like where it says to transfer. It doesn't say to discuss the transfer. It says to transfer.
I sent an email the second it came out because I read it the exact same way you're reading it. I read it the exact same way, and I was told,
And look,
no, this is just to start the process.
I think our state representatives and our senators, they're not barking hard enough because the state seems to be fixing a lot of roads and bridges elsewhere. I ride on, y'all ride on it more than me, but between Racing and Thibodaux on LA1, every 50 feet, there's a bump that rattles your whole vehicle. So what, the state's gonna come and say, look, we're gonna surface it this time, we're gonna give y'all $2 million if y'all take it over. That'd be ludicrous. It's the same thing, and we don't want no more roads. I wish we could give back all the roads to the landowners.
Mr. Lorraine?
Yeah, the roads in Leeville, they will never resurface and given to us. If you get on 308 in Jerry's district, from the new bridge inside of Ward 10 to Delta Farms, the parish took all that, but the state paved it. But it's our baby now. Now, let me tell you a couple other things that happened. The bridge by Tibois, Mr. Armand Otan's district. The state gave us that. We had to take it. We took it. Here comes Katrina. You know what happened? They had the motors at the bottom of the bridge, thinking it was safe. All of that got wiped out. You know what to pay for all that? The parish, to fix all that. Then we go to McDonald Bridge. They say, we're going to give you that one too. your district. You know what we had to do? $1 million, change out all the grading. Right or wrong? So they're not giving you nothing. Believe you me, they're not giving you nothing. They may sound like they're giving you something, but they're not.
Mr. Melvin?
Yes, I just wanted to say that I wouldn't have a problem looking at a request for proposal, but this just looks like a request for transfer. Like I said, I understand Mr. Mr. Lasang said it's a request, but this is a request, and I see transfer of ownership, approves request to State of Louisiana through the department, transfer ownership. I don't see anything for an RFP on here, so.
They can't transfer something to us without us accepting it, and the parish president can't accept it without y'all accepting it.
Exactly. That's
So
why I
it's a
can't vote for it.
request for a transfer. They'll come with the terms, and when they come with the terms, then you decide. I mean, this debate is something that's good. And listen, I might not, if I was on the council, not vote for it either, but let's see what they have to say. All it is, they're gonna come back with a number, say we'll do it, we'll offer it to you, we'll give you this amount of road credits, and if you want it, good, and if not, goodbye. I mean.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't see anything about an offer, so I'm sorry.
Well, they can't just give us, like somebody wants to give us a building, they can't just give us a building. You have to accept it. The parish president can't accept it without y'all accepting, y'all the governing authority. I mean,
I asked the same question that y'all have when it came out, before the agenda was printed. I asked the same question, I was assured, and I don't believe, does anybody up here think that Mr. Jimmy can just accept the road and all of a sudden, oh, we own it? I mean, we know that, He can't. This is to ask a question.
Hang on, unless you have the floor. Mr. Lasang, is this really even needed, as Mr. Lafont said, for Mr. Jimmy to go into discussion, and is this even needed? For him to?
probably at some point in time, he could enter discussions, but we've already had some discussions, obviously, with them in 15, the parish has, but eventually they would want a resolution.
Okay, Mr. Groh?
He asked me if I had something in writing. I mean, the guy from DOTD sent me something from 2015, and it was the ordinance that they were proposing at the time, and he says, I just need something from council. I said, well, I can't just go put something up like that. We want to go through the proper channels, and that's how the discussion started. Look, this is just to ask a question. I voted on a lot of ridiculous questions that we knew, that I personally thought were ridiculous to the DA or whomever. This is to ask a question. And I can assure you, it's got to come back. I mean, that's all. I'll put it up in a different way next time. Y'all continue to vote it down. But listen, if it gets voted down when it comes to the final vote, and tomorrow I'll start working state reps and different people in the area, this is just to see what they throw out. I mean, you don't know unless you ask. That's all I'm saying.
Mr. Paraloo?
I want to propose an amendment where it says, resolution requesting the state of Louisiana through the Department of Transportation and Development, DOTD, to discuss transferring ownership. While you were talking, I did.
Write it down? Okay. Ms. Carleen, could you read?
So everywhere it says transfer, put discuss. Right?
Is that how you want it everywhere it says transfer?
Perhaps,
To discuss transferring.
Mr. Paraloo, perhaps propose a transfer? They can make a proposal to us?
I think discuss would be good, because that's the end game, right? I mean, that's what you guys are asking us for permission to go discuss transferring the street.
We're asking for them to come back with the same thing, with something similar to what they did in 15, which I guess the previous administration did. Y'all weren't here at that time, so I guess the previous administration had some discussions, and then after, around election time, maybe they just let things go at the end of the year.
It'd be interesting to see the cost of repaving that road, of overlaying that road. It's a long road.
Oh, it's gonna be $1.5 million,
So-
probably.
Esposito, so we're gonna,
Mr. Lafont.
any state project from now on forward, we're gonna start writing proposal for Mr. Jimmy to have permission to go? It's senseless. I think Mr. Jimmy can go discuss it anytime he wants. He's the parish president.
Mr. Barnes?
Can I s-
Mr. Jimmy, go ahead.
Can I speak? Why don't we just pull it and rewrite it the right way and bring it up to the next meeting, Mike? And that way, I think it would clean it up. It needs to be cleaned up. But I just want to say something. We accepted a road, not in my administration, but in the previous administration, the Talbot Road. We got $1.5 million. It looked like a great deal. It looks like you couldn't refuse that deal. And all of a sudden, just one bridge now is going to cost us over $800,000. And the other bridge is probably going to cost us the same. That's not redoing the road. So it's, sometimes you got to look at it and get your prices before you accept all these good deals, because if you don't have a price on everything before you accept them, you can get burnt in the end. So I'm suggesting that we get the price, what it's going to actually cost us, that road, because I think it's in worse shape than Mike thinks it is. And I would like to get it somebody like Mr. Barnes, who has an expert in road building, and give us a price what he thinks it would cost to redo it.
Mr. Grow?
Okay. I think as amended, with discuss and propose, it covers everything. If they give us something that's a joke, don't waste James Barnes' time at all going to even look at the road until we get something back, is all I'm saying. It's sitting on our road now. We're not negotiating. We didn't get an offer back.
Mr. Barnes, we have to wrap this
vote?
up. Go ahead, James.
I just wanted to say a couple of things. As long as it's a resolution to just talk about it, see what the state is willing to offer. And, you know, you also got to look at the base. I went and made a ride through the job today, and I want to do my own soil testing on the road base. I want to see what the state is preparing to do to the job rather than putting lipstick on it and giving it to us. I want to make sure that the right type of project is design is done on this job, because it will be something that can be costly to us. I just want that opportunity to take a little look at it, Michael.
Mr. LaFont, last word. We got to move on.
If somebody wants to give you something and pay you to take it, something ain't right. That's all I'm telling you.
Okay, Mr. Grow, are you going to pull it as Mr. Jimmy just asked? Okay, Ms. Carleen.
Throughout the document. Hello? Throughout the document, wherever it reads transfer, we have an amendment. I'm going to read it with the amendment. A resolution requesting the state of Louisiana through the Department of Transportation and Development, DOTD, we're taking out transfer, we're putting in to discuss and propose transferring ownership of State Route LA 3266 to Lafourche Parish government, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents. On the third whereas, we're going to do that, and in the therefore, we're going to do that. And so the amendment would be discuss and propose transferring.
Okay, Mr. Paraloo moves on the amendment. Mr. Grow seconds it. Any further discussion? Okay, we need to vote on the item as, well, we vote on the amendment. All in favor of the amendment? Any opposed? The amendment passes 9-0. The item as amended, the resolution as amended. Yes. All in favor? Any opposed? Nay. Nays, raise your hand. What is?
Yourself, and Mr. Armand, the 4 nays.
4, it passes.
5-4.
It passes 5-4 with Lorraine, Lafont, Sposito, and Otam as the nays. And I want the record to show that I did agree with Daniel Lorraine just now, completely. Just saying.
We will put that as part of the,
Mr. Melvin?
Yes, I just want to recognize Mr. Greg Aubert. Greg, I did put you on the board tonight. Congratulations. I don't want you to sit through the whole meeting, you know, and you just got here just a little late. But, you know, if you want to say anything or just we're moving along, we just want to let you know you're on the board. Thank you.
State your name and address for the record, please.
I am Greg Gobert at 103 Gobert Drive. Anything else?
No.
Okay. I want to thank y'all. Y'all went ahead and y'all voted to put me forward. And I really do want to thank y'all and the confidence and bestowing upon having this great honor to be on the Board of Tourism. And I think I could do a lot to push forward, just as I've turned around our hotel. At one time, it was the #4 hotel in Thibodaux. For the last, 6 years, we've been #1 out of all the hotels in Thibodaux. And we just got a prestigious award for TripAdvisor. We're in the Hall of Fame of Excellence, which means that we've had excellence reviews for the past 5 years consistent. And there's not another hotel in this parish, and I hope to lead it in the right direction. Let's get some tourists here. Thank you.
And Mr. Gobert, my family comes in from New Orleans, and they love to stay in your suites, so, and they're kind of a tough customer, so congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
All right. All right, where are we? 37. 37, resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between the Bayou Lafourche Freshwater District, BLFWD, and Lafourche Parish Government regarding the removal and disposal of abandoned and/or derelict vessels in Bayou Lafourche, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Councilman Otan, second by Paraloo. Any discussion, Mr. Otan?
Yeah, I just want to, I'm requesting y'all support for a very good project, but I also want to thank the authors of this resolution and the people that put this together, which I certainly thank Tommy for pushing this project along. Ben Marlborough has been a critical component of this as well as the district attorney's office that reviewed all the documents between the two agencies. So I humbly ask for your support, and I look really forward to this project kicking off.
Mr. Lorraine?
So we got 200,000 for that?
And the freshwater district has put up 50,000 plus the administrative oversight of it, so
Yeah.
they're investing money in it as well.
You had taken 200,000 from the BP funds.
I took it.
Well, you brought it up.
I brought it for, yeah, correct.
Right. So, and they're gonna put up 50, so what happens if it goes over?
All the paperwork, that's why the district attorney's office reviewed all of the documents, and I believe they're ready to, as soon as this is signed, I believe they have a crew that's gonna go out there and try to give quotes on removal of the first vessel. There's a lot of vessels, so I would imagine that when the funds are expended, then the vessel removal process is gonna end. But there's quite a few. I think there's a dozen right now that's been identified. And once again, I'll reiterate, one of them is underwater. It's an old barge that someone abandoned. There was an accident a couple of years ago, a few $1,000s in boat damage. One young fella, 17-year-old, was thrown out the boat. Wildlife and Fisheries came out. They noted it as an underwater obstruction, but they have no process, no funding to remove it. So it's kind of stuck on the parish. There's no other agency. Believe me, I've hunted and tried to find. And, we have this effort that's going on and trying to beautify the bayou. So this project fits right in line with all what's going on the bayou.
No, I'm not against it. I supported your 200,000.
You did. I thank
A
you.
year and a half ago, whatever.
I thank you. And I wish it was one of these funding sources that continue well into the future, but I don't know where we're going to be. Maybe we'll be, go ahead.
That's the point I was trying to make. In South Lafourche, the Port Commission takes care of it. But we tax our people. That's where we get the funding from.
And the Coast Guard can assist intercoastal south.
Yes.
Coming north, there's no other agency.
I mean, I'm for it. I'm not against it. I just hope they could pick up the whole mess for a couple of 250.
Terrebonne Parish did a wonderful job a few years ago when they embarked on a vessel removal, and it went really good. But you're right, the Port Commission has done a phenomenal job on cleaning up the bayous, because it was really bad at one point in time, and they've done a wonderful job. And we have communicated with them as this project has kicked off to try to come up with some kind of way to stop it from happening in the future. Part of the problem is, this is what happens, is if we don't have an ordinance that keeps people from having their boat sitting on the bayou for like maybe 30 days, what happens is it sits there for a long period of time, and then they end up passing away, or end up with, they have no more funding. So then you have nobody to go, you have no recourse to get the vessel removed. So we probably need to do a little bit more of initiative on the front end, which I agree with, and that needs to be further discussed. And really, I think kicking this project off will lead to some more of some more of that discussion.
But the port, you know, they pass ordinances and it's not easy. The last couple of them that they done, it was stayed up there a while before they can get to it, because it's a big process you gotta go through. Like you said, guy might pass away and the kid, nobody wants to claim it. It's like when you hit a cow or a horse on the road, nobody owns it.
Agreed, and look, and you know, we have this nuisance abatement program, and it's the same thing, you have these, everybody, you know, calls you and thinks that you can get a yard cleaned up the next day, and it can take up to a year if they play the game with all the public notices. And on the water, it's tenfold worse, because you're talking about a lot more expensive, and you know, who has jurisdiction over certain areas, so you're right, absolutely.
Okay, y'all ready for a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes.
Thank you.
9-0. Number 38.
I need to pull 38.
Nice. Number 39, resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office, Sheriff, and Lafourche Parish Government Parish to provide for and maintain security at the Lafourche Parish Council meetings, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Can someone move for me? Moved by Lafont, second by? Second by Jones. Any discussion? Mr. Lorraine?
Yeah, since you put it on there, I just want to ask, is this metal detector, which is located right there, is that going to be used just for council meetings?
That's the only thing I have control over, that's in the agreement. I don't have control over, that would be a question for the parish president.
I'm just asking because this was brought up when we first took office. First administrator, Matern didn't do nothing, Bacala didn't do nothing, Hess didn't do nothing. Interim administrator is finally going to meet with the sheriff. Maybe he can do that with the speed humps. Because we have, my way of thinking, it's good to have. But what about after we adjourn and we get out of here, anybody could come in here and
I think they lock the
We're not
doors after
gonna
we
use it?
leave. They lock the doors.
And
after
we
we
have
leave.
one at South Lafourche High School that's collecting dust, just like that one. Never been plugged in. And it's a shame, because at South Lafourche High School, you have the DA that goes there on Thursdays. You got the permit lady that's there on, not the library, I'm sorry. You got the permit Tuesday and Wednesday. You got the clerk of court. You got the register of voters. You got the assessor. You got 2 or 3 Head Start classes there. And you got the TWIC. And we got a metal detector sitting there against the wall, never been plugged in.
Well, it will be, and the rest is up to the parish president. Did somebody else have one? Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm just telling you how I feel. By doing this just for the council, that tells me we're protecting just the council and belonging with the
Did you
public.
ever go to a court, you have to go into a courthouse, you have to go through metal detectors, right?
Yes.
So you don't think that this would, with some of the issues that we've had lately, or some of the situations we deal with, you don't think we should have protection?
No, I'm not against the metal detector. The part that I'm not for is we're protecting us and the rest of the public.
That's all I have control over, the rest goes to the parish
But I'm
president.
just telling you, we're protecting us.
Okay. Mr. Jimmy, can you take note of that? What Mr. Daniel wants, all buildings with the metal detector. Okay, any further discussion? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 40, resolution appointing the parish president, appointee of Brett Abady to serve on the Economic Development Committee, moved by Councilman Bourgeois, second by Lorraine. Any discussion? Mr. Otan.
So my only question, I know we had talked about, this is pretty much gonna be, I mean, anybody can attend, right? You know, nobody's gonna be, like exempted from attending these committee meetings, correct? It'll kind of be open to the public, so, I mean, so people can be present. Only question, just to make sure, this is a volunteer effort, right? This is not gonna be a paid, it's a non-compensated endeavor, correct? Okay.
Right. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nays, raise your hand. Passes 6-3 with Jones, Lafont, and Parallel being the nays. Number 41, resolution appointing the parish president appointee of Brent Abity to serve on the Home Rule Charter Revision Committee. That's moved by Councilman Bourgeois, second by? Second by Lorraine. Any discussion? I just have to say about that one is, I'm not, someone else proposed a parish employee, and I didn't think that was a great idea. I'm not thinking this is a good idea, being a parish employee. I thought it was good to have someone on the Economic Development Committee as an employee, but the Home Rule Charter, I'm trying to take the politics out of it, so I'm not gonna support this, this nomination, although, you know, I appreciate your willingness to serve. Anyone else? Mr. Lorraine?
I hate to tell you this, but it seems like you want control of that committee. I mean, you sent us, you picked the one in my district. I didn't say nothing. I could care less.
You chose not to participate.
Huh?
So.
No, I
didn't-
don't believe in a Home Rule Charter Committee.
Okay,
I think it's useless. I think it's not worth nothing. I don't think it counts.
okay.
I think a commission, you got something, but not a charter committee. It's all gonna be politics. And you said just now, let's take the politics out.
Okay.
Come
We know you didn't participate, and we know that you're not
You know,
interested,
you just
but
wanna put
that's
who
been
you want.
discussed.
And I don't see this thing even getting off the ground, to be honest with you.
Okay, great. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? Ayes, raise your hand. It fails. 2 yeas, 7 nays, with Bourgeois and Lorraine being the yeas. Number 42. Resolution approving amendment number 2 to the application agreement for the project titled West Side Drainage Improvements, and authorizing the parish president to sign and execute, administer said amendment in any and all relevant documents. Can someone move, well, I have this, before I do that, let me just say, I was emailed by Mr. Otan, can you take over the meeting in a minute? I was emailed by the administration, well, somebody on your staff, asking me to sponsor this item because Councilman Grow was going to be out. I didn't look into, I thought it was just in Councilman Grow's district. I haven't committed to memory every drainage district and everyone's, you know, the names of every drainage district. Mr. Jones was pretty upset because the council not long ago passed a resolution saying that, to go to the person whose district it's in. So I got in a little hot water with Mr. Jones. I don't like getting in hot water, Mr. Jones. It was a complete accident that it happened, and I'm gonna, do you want to comment?
Yeah, thank you for making that remark, Ms. Lucy. District, West Side Drainage is in District 1. And I've been having some issues still in District 1. Project is not completed, so I'm not ready to give up the West Side Drainage money and put in unallocated fund until this job is completed. I'd like for it to stay in it as is. And in the future, I hope that if something in someone's district, let that council person or that councilwoman represent that resolution. Thank you.
Mr. Otap, you want me to take?
Yes.
Did y'all have anything to say about that,
The
Mr.
project
Lassay?
the project is completed, and part of the project is in Mr. Grove's district.
How much of it is in Mr. Grove's district?
Very little.
Very little. 5 homes. 5 homes. How much is in District 1? It starts from
The project
St.
is
Genevieve
completed.
Church all the way back to the Layton Pump Station. That's West Side Drainage, and it's in District 1. And we can use some money in that pump station, from that pump station all the way back up to St. Genevieve Church. So until this is very much in place, The project is completed. I ask that this council vote this down.
Okay, you want it voted on, or you wanted it pulled?
If you would mind, pull it, pull it.
Can we pull it until you have time to talk with the administration about whatever has to be? I'm aware of that, but, or vote on it. Is that what you prefer? To pull?
Pull.
All right, I'll pull it, and we'll get with the administration about clearing this up. And again, my apologies, Mr. Jones, it was completely an accident. Number 43, resolution requesting approval for Lafourche Parish Head Start to submit a grant application in an amount of $74,392, $55,794 for federal and $18,598 for non-federal requirements for the purpose of a cost of living adjustment for all Lafourche Parish Head Start staff, and authorizing the parish president and council chairman to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents. Moved by Councilman Melvin, second by Paralew. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 44, resolution approving amendment number 2. Mr. Lorraine?
I want to pull number 44. Still got some money left, and they could go another 200 feet. That's how Jones wants to be. I'm going to be the same way.
Okay. Number 44 is pulled.
Yeah, but
Mr. Jones?
That's fine, Dan. If you can do something with it, that's great. And that's what it's there for, that project.
Number 45, resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between Lafourche Parish Government and St. James Parish Government regarding a portion of LA Highway 20, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Can someone move on that for me? Moved by Bourgeois, second by Paralew. Any discussion? Mr. Lorraine?
Oh, I got a question on that. I think you on that committee, I made a meeting over there.
Yes.
Is there going to be any economic development with this or not? Or it's just safety of the highway?
Define what you mean by economic development.
I mean, any businesses you're gonna attract businesses or not? I'm just asking. So it's mainly a safety issue, right?
No, I don't know if it'll attract businesses. I haven't done the marketing research on that, so I don't know.
But what we're talking about St. James Parish getting widening the road, and they're only coming into Lafourche less than a mile. And it's gonna cost $323,000 just for engineering, and we may never get the project.
No, it's going to happen, and it is mostly,
I mean, you saying it's gonna happen, I've been hearing
Okay, well,
about
that's
this
the
for
plan.
20 years.
like,
And here we're gonna put up $323,000 to an engineer, and we may never get the project. And you can't tell me, I agree, the road it needs to be wide, and I'm not gonna dispute that. I'm just making a point. Highway 308 throughout all of Lafourche Parish needs to be widened.
then Lafourche Parish needs to do the work that
Okay.
St. James Parish did to get this done.
No, it's St. James, right. We just getting the bump, but we gotta put up $323,000 and get nothing out of it.
We're getting something.
The only
out of it.
thing that I see that makes me feel a little good is that you putting up 81,000 by August the 1st, 81,000 by February the 1st, and 161,000 by February 1st, 220. Some of us won't be here.
All right, Mr. Jones.
Yes, answer Mr. Lorraine's question, economic development, yes, it will be. Right now in St. James, you got 2 new plants coming, multi-million-dollar plants. You got a lot of people from Lafourche Parish work at Occidental, Dow Taft, Whitco, Monsanto, and that's a road that hit to 3127. You got the Coke plant, Plains. So there's a lot of economic development, and a lot of people from this Lafourche Parish will be using that road.
I was
And it's a
looking at
safety
it,
issue.
Jerry, our portion, okay? We got a $1 billion plant coming to Fouchon. We got an airport road that we could have got that we never did. with economic development and made money, and y'all refused it. Could have done that.
Yeah, but 325,000 for this
Engineer.
road, to widen, for our part, to save lives. We had several women get killed going to work on that road, right there at our parish line. So, I mean, it's well worth it for 325,000.
The point I'm trying to make is that 308 runs through the whole parish, and that needs to be widened.
Right, so we need
But
to
yet,
follow
we're gonna
suit.
go with it, I'm gonna vote for it, it's a safety issue.
Yeah,
But I just don't think it's right. That's just my opinion.
okay, we need to follow St. James's, get some of St. James tenacity for Lafourche Parish and make it happen for us as well. All in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 46, resolution accepting the low quote in the amount of $32,595 for the purchase of one portable building to be used as a surgical suite at the Lafourche Parish Animal Shelter, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents. Moved by Councilman Perilou, second by Otam. Any discussion?
Does
Mr.
anybody
Grow.
know what they're using now to do this? They're running out of room? I mean, Reggie, I mean, you know just from your prior life? Can you answer? No?
Mr. Lasang?
They do it off-site now. This is the way they'll come into this facility. We're gonna pour a slab right next to the current building. They're gonna come into this facility and do the spaying and neutering there.
So they have to transport the animals to somewhere else, do it, and transport them back, and we probably pay an extra fee to do that? Or
I
is that
think
all?
we're gonna save, I don't know, it's a substantial amount of money. It's $10,000-$20,000 a year we'll
A
save.
year?
And it's free, it's a grant.
It's a grant?
Okay. Anything else? Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. 47, resolution appointed one member on the parish-wide Recreation Advisory Board representing number 9, moved by Councilman Lorraine. Who you have? Tina Serrier. Can I get a second? Second by Bourgeois. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Number 48, resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between the Catholic Charities of the Diocese of Houma-Thibodeau Foster Grandparents Program and Lafourche Parish Government to place volunteer foster grandparents at the parish's summer recreation programs, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Councilman Perilou, second by Lafont. Any discussion? I just wanted to ask if this is underway, because the resolution states June 4th. Has any of this happened already? Like, are there any grandparents currently?
They put June 4th because that's when recreation started, but they're not gonna, in fact, they will not provide the people until this is done.
Gotcha. Thank you. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor? All in favor? Any opposed? Passes 9-0. Aye, parish president, department heads, directors, or managers' reports, presentations, and/or updates. 49, a representative from the Department of Public Works to present a monthly report as per ordinance number 6036. Let the record state that Councilman Lafont left at 6:19 p.m. Mr. Jimmy, anyone from Public Works to do a presentation?
I'm ready, Miss Lucy.
Okay.
It might take a few minutes longer than 6 minutes, but
It's okay. Let's try.
this is in District 1 and 2. Thibodeau is Layton Pump Canal. North Lafourche sent their marsh buggy out there to help us to clean that canal. District 1 and 2 at Thibodeau at the Layton Pump Station. We pulled the pump, rebuilt it in-house, and it's already back in operation. Ridgefield Road, sweeping the ditches. Choctaw Levee, sweeping the ditches. This is repairing some potholes on Choctaw Road. Lafourche Levee, repairing a leak in the levee. Apparently years ago when they built this levee, they had buried some stumps in the levee. And this happens with us from time to time. We have to go dig up the stump and repair it. Pay trail, lateral, sweeping the ditches. Still sweeping the ditches on Pay Trail. Whaleway Road and Ori, sweeping the ditches. East Camellia Street, sweeping the ditches before and after. West Camellia, sweeping the ditches. Somebody had to roll some culverts in right there, and we just rolled them back out the ditch. They was not in the covered or nothing, so we just rolled them back out the ditch. David Drive, sweeping the ditches.
James,
Yes.
on that stuff you rolled out the ditch, do you know who owned that? I mean, did y'all haul them away or just left them there for them to kick them back in?
We just left them to the landowner. We don't have an ordinance that we could just haul them away, but we keep an eye on it. If they put them in without a permit, there's several people that we've caught already that's tried that. This is the St. Charles Bypass Road, cleaning the ditches and cleaning the culverts. Bayou DeMar Levee, cleaning the drainage ditch. Bayou DeMar, see the big gash in the levee before and after the repair. District 1 of 12 pump station, cleaning the reservoir. See that big pile of lilies on your left? If y'all notice what we do now, we do a work order showing the cleaning around these pump stations. In case we have a storm, we'll have a record for FEMA. This is Louise Street bulkhead repair. The picture on your left shows what was there, and the one on the right is the repair. We did that in-house. Romero Street, digging the ditches before and after. Lafourche Drive, that's digging the new outfall ditch that's been dug, completed, and opened up, and that has helped that area tremendously. That's still on Lafourche Drive. That's still Lafourche. Pelican Drive, replacing a cross culvert. And if y'all notice what we did, we saw cut the asphalt and just removed the area where the culvert was to not to just disturb the rest of the base. And we put it back in with a small amount of material and effort. That's after the culvert's replaced. White Rose right away, cleaning the ditches. Gotro Lane, digging the ditches. Lockport Boat Launch, repairs to the launch. That's the Lockport Boat Launch where the pine trees used to be. We putting filter cloth and limestone on. The parking improvements, again at the Lockport Boat Launch. North American outfall, cleaning the outfall canal. East 43rd Street, changing the culvert out to improve drainage. East 90th Street, digging an outfall canal. West 12th Street, Avenue A, changing a culvert across the avenue. West 12th, the outfall, I might have got stuck in there twice. I'm still on West 12th. You notice on the left, the cypress trees. Actually, we had to trim some of the limbs and work around them cypress trees. That's still on West 12th. West 13th, cleaning the outfall canal. West 22nd, sweeping the outfall canal. West 132nd, digging the cross ditches on West 132nd. West 138th, digging the street ditches. West 147th Street, digging the outfall canal. Northerly Terrio property, cleaning the trees off the right-of-way to get to that outfall canal. And this is some of the things that we've run across quite a bit here lately, that some of the outfalls has not been maintained for years and years, and they just let the trees go back. And we haven't, y'all see the willow trees in the back, we haven't take the trees out to redig the outfall. West 210, sweeping the ditches. And that's all, folks.
You had 11 seconds left on your time, so. Any questions for Mr. Barnes? Mr. Jones?
Mr. Bourne, that flap gate on that Layton pump station, that ever been repaired? The one that was broken, that gate?
Yes, we did some temporary repairs, but now in this grant that the Planet Engineering is working on, they are going to come in there and do a permanent repair on them flap gates and also improve the drainage going to the Layton pump station, and also add a pump.
And where Layton pump station, that's in west side drainage? That's on the west side of town, right?
I'm sure it covers that district.
Yeah, so maybe you can use some west side drainage on that pump station. Next question, Waverly drainage, that right of way, for Mr. Waggersback and old Chassel and Scott.
Yes.
Did y'all ever?
Yes, we actually working on that.
All right, thank you.
That's going to be a big help to that area. And I believe that's Crescent Estates. That subdivision right there is close by Crescent Estates. That's going to help them too.
Mr. Otan?
Yeah, James, just, I don't know if I missed any emails lately, just wondering any updates from my constituents on the flood wall phase 2 and 3 that I've been asking about for a couple of years, and you have been asking about for a couple of years.
Actually, we have a meeting this Monday or next Monday. I finally got an answer from Neil. So we are down to the final plans to look at it before it goes out to bid on the pump station.
So probably before our next council meeting, that'll have taken place.
Yes.
Great. I mean, that's still one of my highest volume of calls during rain events is, 308 La Rose, those residents, where they built the flood wall and basically blocked the water in without doing the other two items which should have been done first. The
Yes,
drainage and pump stations, so.
I totally agree. In this email I sent it, I told him, I said, it's been 21 days since the last email. So I'm keeping tally on it.
Thank you. Well, when Sandy was here, I actually every meeting, and they quit sending a representative, but I know I continue to send emails, and I thank you for continuing to pursue that, because it's well over 2 years that I've been, asking about this project. The next thing is just wondering, is Parlor Rose, the Parlor Rose pump station, has there been any hiccups? That's all still going for it? I think there's a July date or something is the next date that we're watching for, but is that all still moving along? Do you know if the pumps have been, has a repair been begun on them, or
Yes,
any update?
actually, the pumps arrived back at the station today.
Today?
Today.
Okay.
And I had some conversation with the oversight engineer about some things that I'd like to check before the pumps are put in to make sure it's sufficient.
Okay, good. I saw one of the bulkhead repairs with the new signs. Have we ever done where the gentleman Randy Fagu in Lockport Heights, where he had cut all those trees, that was a bulkhead the parish had, so nobody went off that cross street into the bayou? He kind of cleaned it all up, and I think we're gonna look at it and maybe put some new signs, fresh signs. You know if we've ever done that? Or can you check on it if not?
I'll check on it, Armin. I can't tell you right off the bat.
I noticed the Gotro Lane ditch was dug, so I guess it's dug up to the railroad track. So, do you know if anyone has tied in and brought that? I know that one of the residents had talked about maybe trying to help us out, and if we dug that ditch, they would make a cross ditch to get to that little pump station on the north side of Gotro. You know if that was ever done? In other words, I saw Gotro Lane was dug. So
Yes.
so they made that little cross ditch? Great. That's just, so that was basically drainage where we have a right of way that drained to nowhere. Basically, just dig in front of your house and you blocked on both sides. Have you ever seen some crazy, that's some crazy things we see out there. The last thing I had, well, two more things, I'm sorry. I noticed on the South Bank Company Canal, town of Lockport, where they had to come in and do that lift because it had sunk in. I'm talking about all the rocks.
Yes.
So just watching the maintenance of that, I know there's a lot of like scrub brush growing. How is that being maintained? I mean, how are they keeping that down?
You talking about in the rocks?
Yeah.
I need to get with the mayor of Lockport and see what they're gonna do about it, because it was in the agreement that the town of Lockport maintained it, that
Okay.
section.
I saw there's like, it's nice and low in some places, but there's a lot of scrub brush. And obviously, you were talking about the hole in that levee. Trees are obviously bad for that. The last thing I have is any update on Stevie Smith with the Lockport and La Rose boat launches? Has he been engaged, or we?
Yes, we engaged with him.
Okay, I only ask because people are still asking about if there's gonna, we're gonna have some kind of a parking formula. So we're still working on that.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you, James. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Mr. Parlow.
Hey, James, thank you for that presentation, and thank you and President Cantrell for the parish with that outfall canal behind Larice. I think it will make a big difference when we get those heavy downpours. A couple of months ago, we entered into a cooperative endeavor agreement with Drainage District Number 1 to provide culverts for Larice and I believe portions of Central Lafourche Drive. Have you received a signed copy of that yet? I mean, do you know if that thing's in place?
It's in the works.
How long does it take for a cooperative endeavor agreement to be signed and this is a general for anyone up there that can answer?
Can you,
We're waiting on Drainage District 1. They typically take a fair amount of time. They don't meet that regularly.
Okay. Because I'm going to keep asking about this one because I did receive like a threat that this would never go through because somebody doesn't agree with using that resource this far north. So, all right, thank you.
Mr. Lorraine?
Yeah, James, I sent in a request, not that long ago. On the Leeville boat launch, when you get off the highway, it's cemented all the way to in the shells. You got Dan Bryant lives right there. And with the fishing pier, people going in and out of there all night, people using the boat launch practically all day. There's a lot of dust. Is there any way we could maybe dust control about 150 feet, a couple of 100 feet? I'm not expecting to dust control the whole boat launch, but just that piece right by his house, because it's really a hazard to him. And I told him I would bring it up, look into it, and see what we can do.
Daniel, we used to have a piece of equipment that was a very expensive piece of equipment to do dust control like that. And it was sold at auction in the last administration. we don't own that piece of equipment. I'm hoping to work something out with Barry because they own that tool and get them to give me a price, to come spray that area.
Okay, it's just for a couple of 100 feet. The guy
Yeah.
has a good point,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
I got another question for Jimmy. Should I wait or,
I'm about to move on.
okay.
No more questions for James, right? Nooney, you sure? Jay, questions for the administration, Mr. Daniel?
Yeah, Mr. Jimmy, I think, you know, I've been keeping up with a lot of recreation in Terrebonne Parish, and it doesn't seem like it's going that great. I think in Lafourche Parish, I think we need to get all districts audited for the last 10 years. And I'm just making a simple request. And I know you're gonna maybe say they were audited, but I want an audit everything. I think, not gonna accuse nobody of nothing, but a lot of money was out there, and I would just like to see them audited, not by Reggie, by an auditor, and complete auditor, all of it.
Mr. Jimmy?
I have no problems with that, Daniel, because there's a lot of money that disappeared over the years. And I think it would be a good idea to audit all these things to make sure that everything was done right. I'm not accusing anybody of doing anything wrong, but we found a lot of discrepancies when we did audit this. So I think it's a great idea. I think we should do it.
Mr. Otam?
There's a question though, most recreation districts, like the one I served on, was audited annually, had to have an annual audit, like all the different boards
Yeah,
and. but-
it's a random audit. I'm talking about a real, let's talk about your area. I'm glad you brought that up. They collected about 1.2 million in the last 10 years, and tell me what they did with it. Where did it go? Where did it go?
You talking about the little one in Lockport?
I'm talking about the one that, yeah, they were getting about, $100,000 a year.
About $90,000 a year,
Yeah.
36,000 just in insurance. So you only had about 60,000 or so to do your programs. And we had 800 kids playing softball from Golden Meadow to Bar Blue. We have bitty basketball where we replaced some of the, because we don't own a gym in Lockport, so we had to replace things such as the scoreboards, et cetera. You have arts and crafts, which has to be done in the gymnasium at Lockport because we don't own a gym in Lockport. All those things require costs. We actually operated at almost zero every year, but we had to get audited annually. We had an annual audit, so I don't know exactly.
Right, I understand that. But you also had parish funds, and you had a separate tax, and you all collected 1.2 million, and I'd like to see where it went.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. I served on the board. I served on it for, 10, 15 years. And we were a board with very, very little means. Very, very little means and property.
Mr. Wasang?
If they have over $50,000, they have to be audited by the Louisiana Legislative Auditor. And the big ones had that amount, Raceland, Lockport, Bayou Blue, not Gaines, obviously. Gaines they do get an audit, but it's not the same audit. They can do just a little internal audit. It's not much, and that wouldn't be a bad idea. But part of the problem you have is, and particularly you're talking about Lockport, part of the problem is you have a 501c3 that is cooperating with the district, and it could be with anything as far as providing services to the recreation district, and those things, those organizations operate independently, so you don't have any control over them.
Correct. The parish, I'm sorry, Ms. Luziette.
Go ahead.
Correct. So the parish recreation that collected the tax money that decided on how the money was spent was done. We had an annual audit. So I don't think it'd be a waste of time. Now, he's correct. There are multiple 501c3s, bitty basketball, the swim team, LYAA. So there are multiple, and I don't know what kind of jurisdiction we have on getting them audited. It's a 501c3 or nonprofit. So I don't think, like the churches or whatever, whoever's participating, I don't know what you can do with that. But I do know that with parish funding in that particular district, the one I was affiliated with, we had an annual audit. We had an auditing firm that whenever we had to go out for bids or things like that, we always confirm with them if we were doing it correctly. So I know that existed.
Yeah, you got a random audit on all of them. but I want to audit like Terrebonne Parish is doing. Audit from the beginning to the end. Random is just, it's almost a joke, to be honest with you.
Mr. Parlou?
I think if we're gonna delve into auditing all the recreation districts, we need to audit all districts within our power, drainage districts, everything that, all the districts that have control of money that we can enter into an audit. I think we need to do that instead of just picking on recreation.
Mr. Lasang, do you have an answer?
Mr. Paraloo, to answer part of your question earlier, that we received from Drainage District 1 on May 29th for the Central Lafourche Drive, where we're going to do the work and they're going to reimburse us. So we did get the agreement.
Mr. Melvin?
Real quick, Mr. Jimmy, I noticed, and I'm saying this now, we're gonna have a storm coming at us. Our first year in office, when we needed sandbags, residents could go to the barns and this and that, and the bags were ready and available. I believe we have 4 machines that we paid a lot of money for that were, since we've been in office, there's some, but we got some more, that fill the sandbags, and we have trustees. I had some people call me last hurricane season. They showed up at the parish barn to get their 25 sandbags, which you're allowed, and they were told, they were asked, where's your shovel? Now, some of these people are senior citizens, so I'm just asking you to, maybe with some forward thinking, to prepare and have some of these machines that the taxpayers paid for, that when they go to get their sandbags, they can, at least get some bags and not have to worry about, 50, 60, 70 years old, maybe a bad back problem, having to fill their own bags, being we have the machines. Please,
Mr.
sir.
Jimmy?
Bo, nobody was turned away. If they were senior citizens, we even went delivered to the package store.
Oh, yes, sir.
But I don't know what you're talking about, because I know one thing, we put sand on the outside to accommodate people who didn't come to the time that we were open if they wanted to fill our own bags up. But far as I know, we filled and gave many, many, many bags away. And Mr. Barnes can answer that, I think, just as well as I can. Nobody was turned away, and we went to deliver some to some people who could not.
Yes, sir, I'm aware. I just
And
received
yeah,
some calls last
yeah,
year.
but
We're starting hurricane
They may have a
season.
few, but
Yeah.
you're not gonna please everyone, and no matter how you do it, somebody's gonna complain. In other words, but I tell you what, overall, it was a big success. And by the way, we're the only parish. We're the only parish now that fills sandbags and give them away. Terrebonne does it, St. Charles does it, Jefferson Parish does it, and we're the only ones that do it for our citizens.
Well, if we have the machines, put a feather in your hat, because that's good. I'm glad we do. Thank you.
Mr. Otan, you had another question? Okay, can you take over for a minute?
Yes.
I had a few questions for Mr. Jimmy. I saw we had the new polling place for, I guess it's St. John Parish, went on the agenda tonight. When is the new polling place? Is there going to be an agreement for the new polling place in the 6th Ward at the school? Is that coming up soon, or?
Administration?
Kelly, put your mic. Can you tell me what she says, or if she's not mic'd? Okay.
I received it at 4 today, so I'll have
Oh.
it for the next agenda.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't forgotten. Mr. Jimmy, the stormwater plan that I met with you and Mr. Lasang about, and then the council passed a resolution asking you to look into it. Is that something you're considering? I know you seemed receptive, you and Mr. Lasang both seemed receptive when I met with you. And are you still considering it, or have you decided against it, or what?
No, we haven't decided against it. We're looking at it, and I'm gonna look further into it. We have so many other things that we've been doing and trying to, we haven't given it much time. We just looked at it a little bit, so.
Well, I ask you again to seriously consider it, because if it affects future development, it could solve some of these problems that are bogging us down because of development not being great. The only other thing I want to ask is, it's almost budget time. Last year, we had requested a template for writing budget amendments, and we've never received that. We want to make sure that we do everything in the form that you all want. Is that something you all can give to us? I know we had even went through the DA with that.
I explained to DA, we don't really have a template. Almost everything you did last year was correct. There was a few that were wrong, but if they're not to the last minute, we can, and you present them, or if Reggie does most of them and he presents them to get them checked, finance can say, okay, it's good, you know, put it through like that. I mean, we're not gonna argue with it, there's nothing to argue about, it's, you know, it's an amendment y'all propose. Once the budget's presented to y'all, it's y'all's. We can't amend it, administration can't do anything with it.
So if he has amendments, do we have your permission or Mr. Cantrell's permission? Do we go to you? Do we go to finance director or finance manager or?
I would say if you, let's go through, Caroline and Kelly, CC Kelly, but go through Caroline and let her process it, because she'll have the time to do it, even though it's not, she wouldn't actually do it, but let her be in charge of it, because she has the time that she can handle those things.
Okay, I find it hard to believe there's just no way to do a template.
Well, I mean, he did them all, almost all of them right last time. It's just when you start doing it between a couple of funds, like the things that turn around tonight, you know, we want to take the money from South Lafourche Beachfront Development Commission, you're gonna have to undo it, take it out, put it in royalty, then put it from royalty to project ABC. It just makes another step. And that's a couple of times we get caught, but it's not a big deal. And like I say, you had 226, and not many of them were messed up.
Okay. Did you have a question, Noon? Did you have another question? You waiting for what? Oh, so no more questions, okay. Okay, council reports, presentations, updates, and/or questions. Mr. Otan.
So just for a point of reference earlier, I know Ron had came up and talked about times for elections, and just so that people that watch the videos, I went on the Louisiana Secretary of State website. Saturday elections are 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday election days are 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. So Saturdays, it doesn't open till 7. Tuesdays, it's open at 6, as per Louisiana Secretary of State. So you were half right, Daniel.
Thank you, man.
Mr. Bourgeois?
I'd like to thank Ms. Carleen Babin and Ms. Gretchen Foss and Jenny and IT, because they got me a new phone, found out that my phone was defective, why I wasn't getting email, why I wasn't getting messages, unrepairable. They went through it. I got a brand new phone, and I'm happy because I'm connected to the world now. I know, Mr. Groh, I emailed a response to you. Other people have sent stuff to me. I had a defective phone, and I appreciate them working with me and actually getting it fixed.
And Ms. Carleen?
Yes. We finally got our new council minute clerk. His name is Clyde Trey Acosta. Stand up, Clyde. Wave to everybody, Clyde. Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
He's doing a great job. We're glad to have him and hope he's with us for a long time.
All right. L, discussion? Anything else? No? Can I get a motion to adjourn? Moved by Paraloo, second by Jones. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Meeting adjourned at
6:50.
Meeting adjourned at 6:48 p.m.